We all carry emotional scars. Sometimes they are invisible, but they silently shape the way we think, act, and decide. Anger, guilt, fear, dense, intense emotions that we have learned to avoid or repress. But what if they weren't our enemies? What if they were messages from the body, cries from the soul asking for reconnection? In this video, I want to show you something extraordinary. These emotions, when understood and redirected, can become the gateway to your healing and to a new version of yourself. Have you ever noticed how it's often at rock bottom that we find the impetus to climb out? It's because the most challenging emotions carry the greatest charge of energy available for transformation. And today, I want to teach you how to channel this force. But first, tell me, what do you do with what you feel? Do you escape? Do you judge yourself? Or do you allow yourself to feel and transform? This video isn't just about emotions. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about stopping running away from yourself and finally using everything that has happened to you as an impetus to create a new reality. We'll explore in depth how to transform dense emotions such as fear, guilt, and anger into creative energy, accessing the biological and spiritual potential that exists within you. You will understand why these emotions are stored in the body, how they affect your health, your behavior, and your decisions, and most importantly, how to reprogram your nervous system to transmute these emotions into creative force. The promise of this video is clear: to show you a practical way out of the cycle of emotional pain and into the flow of conscious creation. This is one of the biggest keys to healing that I teach in my retreats and books. And today I want to give it to you in a simple, profound, and transformative way. If you apply what you learn here, you'll realize that every emotion, even the most painful, carries a message and a lever for growth. Breaking limiting mental patterns. Fear, guilt, and anger are not just passing sensations. They are often memorized circuits in the brain, activated repeatedly over the years. When an emotion is repeated enough, it is no longer just an emotional reaction. It becomes a state of being. And here's the big deal. Your body gets used to these emotions and comes to expect them, like a chemical addiction. Yes, that's right. Just as someone can be addicted to sugar, nicotine, or alcohol, the body can also be addicted to guilt, fear, or anger. These emotions trigger a cascade of chemical substances, such as adrenaline, cortisol, and noradrenaline, which, when released frequently, reconfigure your cell receptors. Over time, the body begins to ask for the emotion even before the situation occurs. In other words, you start reacting with anger before the problem. You feel fear before danger. You carry guilt for things that haven't even happened yet. Now let me tell you something powerful. You can break this cycle. When you become aware that you are operating from an old emotional program, you activate the most evolved part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. And this region has the power to observe without reacting, to choose a new thought, to install new circuits. But beware, thinking differently is not enough. You need to feel differently. You need to teach your body emotionally to let go of the identity of me angry, me afraid, me guilty. And this requires conscious practice. It requires presence, mindfulness, and above all, a clear intention to change. You no longer have to live as a prisoner of your emotions. By recognizing the automatic thoughts, observing the triggers, and choosing to respond in a new way, you begin to reprogram your brain and break the cycle of the old self. And here begins the transformation. Emotion. As fuel now comes the most profound twist. The emotion that makes you sick today can become exactly the energy that will heal you. Sounds contradictory, right? But this is where the power lies. Every emotion has an electromagnetic charge. Low-frequency emotions, such as fear and guilt, contract your heart's electromagnetic field and disorganize your mind. You become incoherent. Your body goes into survival mode. And in this state, you don't create, you just react. But here's the key. Energy isn't lost, it's transformed. And every intense emotion, even anger, carries an enormous amount of vital energy. What's missing is redirecting that energy, channeling it into something creative, conscious, and intentional. It's not about repressing or hiding emotions, but about feeling them with presence and choosing to transform them into movement, expression, and creation. Want an example? Anger can become courage to set healthy limits. Fear can become attention focused on what matters. Guilt can become compassion and self-responsibility. To do this, it is necessary to teach the body a new meaning for these emotions. This transformation begins with listening deeply to what your body is saying. Instead of running away from anger, sit with it. Ask, "What do you want to show me?" Instead of running away from fear, get in touch and say, "I'm here and I'm listening." When you do this with presence, the emotion stops being a monster and becomes a source of raw energy, ready to be refined. In my work with meditations and guided practices, we use this intense emotional energy as a lever. We breathe through it, move it with intention, transmute it with heightened emotion, such as gratitude, compassion, love. And when that happens, do you know what changes? Everything. Your energy field changes, your biology changes, your behavior changes, and, as a consequence, your reality changes too. Self-healing and health. Have you ever noticed how, after a scare or a period of high stress, the body gets sick? That pain that reappears, that inflammation that returns, the sleep that disappears. This is no coincidence. Science has shown, and I see it every day on our retreats, that the emotional state you sustain over time directly shapes your biology. Fear, for example, activates the sympathetic nervous system, the famous fight or flight mode. This raises cortisol and adrenaline levels. In the short term, that's fine. But if this state becomes chronic, the body goes out of balance. The immune system weakens. Digestive and hormonal processes become dysregulated. The body literally goes into degeneration. Now here's the most important revelation. The same body that gets sick from fear can heal itself with love. The same body that collapses in the face of guilt can regenerate when it is bathed in compassion, gratitude, and genuine joy. The key is to get out of survival mode and into creation mode. When you activate heightened emotions such as gratitude or appreciation, your heart becomes coherent with your brain. This state of heart coherence signals to the body that it is safe, that it no longer needs to protect itself. And when the body feels safe, it can finally heal itself. In our studies, we observed that after just a few minutes of deep meditation with a focus on gratitude, inflammatory markers drop. Gene expression changes. The brain reorganizes itself. And the most amazing thing, people report real physical relief. Pains go away, symptoms disappear, emotional scars begin to close. So, if you feel that your emotions are making your body ill, know this: it's not what you feel, but how long you feel it that makes you ill. And in the same way, it's not what you've experienced, but how you interpret and move through those experiences that determines your healing. You have the power to teach your body a new emotional state, and with that, you teach the body to regenerate itself. This is true self-healing, meditation, and access to the present. Now we come to the most transformative practice of all. Meditation is a tool for transmuting dense emotions and accessing the point of creation, the present moment. Look, when you feel fear, where is your mind? In the future. When you feel guilt, in the past. When you feel anger, usually between the two, stuck in a memory and projecting a threat. This means that the emotions that most imprison you are taking you away from the only place where change is possible, the now. Meditation is the way to break this psychological time loop and bring you back to the present moment. And why does this matter? Because now is the only point at which you can alter the energy that sustains your life. In the present, you're not reacting to the past or anticipating the future. You're creating. And the body understands this. In meditation, we slow down the brain waves. We leave the beta state, alert and analytical, and access alpha and theta states. In these states, we are able to enter the operating system of the subconscious, where all the old emotional programs are stored. It is in this space that we are able to observe, without judgment, what is there. What's more, we can reprogram. It. I teach a very simple technique in my workshops. Breathe consciously. Observe without identifying and deliberately feel a heightened emotion. This simple practice, if done consistently, is capable of installing a new state of being. You begin to teach your body how it feels to be free, how it feels to be at peace, how it feels to be full, even without any external reason. And that is liberating. Meditation is not escape. It's confrontation with presence. It's looking at fear and saying, I see you, but I choose something different now. It's embracing anger and dissolving it in the fire of consciousness. It's taking guilt and transforming it into self-love. And this process, repeated daily, aligns your mind, body, and heart with a new reality. It's time to become intimate with the present, because that's where healing, creativity, and freedom reside. Perfect. Now we come to the most important moment of the video, the practical transformation plan. This is where the viewer will understand how to apply everything they've learned so far in their daily lives. We will deliver simple but profound actions that put theory into motion and transform knowledge into lived wisdom. Practical transformation. Plan. Step by step to transmute emotions into creative energy. Turning emotions like fear, anger, and guilt into creative energy isn't magic. It's practice, it's training, it's a conscious decision day after day. Below I share a simple and powerful roadmap that you can start today. Morning meditation for emotional release. As soon as you wake up, find a quiet place. Sit or lie down with your spine erect. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Bring your attention to your heart. Now bring to mind the emotion you've been feeling most in recent days. Anger? Fear? Guilt? Don't try to control it. Just feel it. Allow this emotion to be present, but observe it like a scientist, without judgment. Say mentally, I see you. I am here. Breathe. And with each exhale, imagine that emotion dissolving into light. Now consciously replace that emotion with a heightened emotion. Choose gratitude, compassion, love, courage. Feel it intensely. Pretend if you have to, but teach your body what it's like to feel free. Duration, 10 to 15 minutes. Emotional. Transmutation diary. Every day, write it down. Which emotion predominated today? What thought triggered it? What automatic reaction arose? What can I do differently tomorrow? This takes you out of autopilot and makes you an observer of your own emotional self. You begin to notice the patterns, the pitfalls, and, most importantly, the ways out. Powerful reprogramming affirmations. Choose an elevated emotion that you want to install as a new standard. For example, today I am guided by trust. I let go of guilt and allow myself to start again. The anger that was in me now fuels my courage. Repeat this mentally several times throughout the day, especially at times when the old emotion tries to return. Teach your body to feel differently. Exercise. During the day when an emotional trigger arises, a negative thought, a painful memory, or a conflict, stop everything for 1 minute. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, how would the version of my new self respond now? Then act on that answer, even if it seems strange. This is the repetition that installs the new me. Evening ritual of gratitude and integration. Before going to sleep, write down or mentalize 3 moments during the day when you felt in control of your emotions, even for seconds. Celebrate these internal victories. Thank your body, mind, and heart for learning to create something new. Sleep with this vibration. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about repetition. Transformation doesn't happen in one leap, but in small acts of presence. Each time you choose to react differently, you uninstall the old emotional program and install a new one. That's the real work. That's the new you being born. Take a deep breath with me now. You have come this far because, on some level, you know that there is more to you. You know that the fear that paralyzes you, the anger that consumes you, the guilt that imprisons you, are not your essence. They are just parts of an old story. And today, you are being invited to write a new chapter. Listen to this with an open heart. You are not what you feel. You are the one who can transform what you feel. The old you, conditioned to always react, in the same way, may still try to fight for space. But now you have tools. You have awareness, and above all, you have a choice. You can choose to use the energy of fear to awaken courage. You can turn guilt into responsibility and self-love. You can turn anger into determination and creative movement. Your story no longer has to be about pain, repetition, and survival. It can be about healing, creation, and rebirth. And do you know what the first step is? This is it. Recognizing that you are the creator of your reality. Not a victim, not a supporting player, a conscious creator. The life you want won't be born out of a lucky break. It will come from the decision to teach your body to feel as if this new reality is already real. It will be born of commitment to the now, with practice, with your heart. So I invite you, start small but start. Choose a practice from this video and put it into action today. Be a more attentive observer. Do a meditation. Write in your diary. Give yourself the right to feel differently. And if this content has touched you, share it. Send it to someone who also needs reminding that change is possible. Like and comment below on how you deal with your emotions. And subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Remember, you are more than your thoughts, more than your emotions, more than your history. You are energy in constant transformation, and every time you choose love over fear, gratitude over guilt, presence over reaction, you are becoming a new being. That is your power, and it starts now.